So the thing, Eddie Delbar was saying, little tiny guy from Argentina, he's the one, me and him actually had running, and then he put this other part in there, and then a bridge.
So
Maurice
you want
did
me to
the
start there, or you want me to back
But
away from
I
there?
introduced him from Caldera to Maurice, and they wrote Fantasy.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Yeah, good.
Is the doctor able to keep his head off?
Okay, oh, because he crosses over. Get off.
Sitar. We were just children.
Hey, Moshe, keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. Just keep going.
Okay, keep on. Okay.
You want my gloves. You want my gloves, and you can't deny. Can't believe I remember that stuff. Wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here we go.
All right, let's go. We're
Okay,
rolling.
guys,
So,
ready? Okay.
Like James Brown said, "Man, you do your hang." Huh?
Alright, that makes sense.
Do you what? Do your hang.
All right, so you ready?
we're ready.
Okay.
We're rolling.
So, first thing is some of your inspirations. Who are they, and maybe just even a sound that kind of inspired you in the very beginning?
Today, you.
I'll take it.
It's you. Ed, seriously, so proud of you, man. It's awesome who you are and what you do, and we appreciate you.
Sure, thanks.
But yeah, man, I grew up around music. Like I said, mom was Italian, pop was black, and we had it all, all different types. I listened to her Italian 78s, Tarantella, Dad's Jimmy Smith, Kenny Burrell. I used to turn the album down from 33 and a third to 16 and get the jazz riffs
And tell us who Jimmy Smith and Kenny Burrell are,
Oh,
just in
sorry.
case they don't know.
Jimmy Smith was one of the main wizards of the Hammond B3 organ, playing jazz. So thank God now everything's everywhere, so you can look at Jimmy Smith. And his guitar player was a white fellow, Kenny Burrell. I mean, awesome records, just beautiful music. So, but like I said, I would turn that thing down to half speed. Now they got plugins
They'll do
and
it.
apps, amazing slow downer that will do it, and it won't Mickey Mouse it out either. So that's pretty awesome. But that and the Beatles, the Temptations, James Brown. James Brown was my first actual concert because my Italian uncle, one of them, Uncle Joe, used to clean the Denver Arena. So he got me 2 tickets. I was like, yeah. And I saw that stuff. I said, man, like Steve Martin, this is my music. This is my people. This is what I want to do.
And that's the jerk.
Yeah,
That's the stuff in there.
yeah. And you know what? Because he had to clean up and everybody was gone.
Right.
So I walked up to the stage, and the dude that played baritone sax was there with the gray streak, and he was the only one in the arena. And I said, I'm Larry Dunn. I play organ. I'd love to play with you guys. He goes, son, you know what? If it wasn't for the fact that James thinks he can play the organ, we might have something. But I said, okay, that's all I needed.
Right.
So I said, I'm going to be on that stage. And 6 years later, now they tore that down, but 6 years later, Earth, Wind & Fire played the Denver Coliseum.
Right. And organ was one of your key instruments that you
Yeah.
loved too.
Well, I didn't get to that after I got the guitar, with the regular piano, which thank God I stayed with. Then the guitar, and then in 6th grade they bought me an organ.
Kimball.
At Kimball. Good. And that's when I would turn the records down. I had a little red light like that. I'd sit there in the dark and learn the riffs, and then we started playing all over the place. They let us take it. By the time here, your mother had a janitorial service, and he, God bless him, he'd have to work, and then when he did his good job, then she let him use the van to take our equipment around. By about 2 years later, the Kimball had about 80 keys missing, broke in it. So then we started playing that club I was telling you about, 23rd Street East. And they had a B3 organ. There is a God. Oh man, I was beside myself. Actually, I asked them to lock me in there one night and let me practice all night, blood, sweat, and tears, and I did. They didn't have alarms at that, and 7 in the morning, I pushed the door open, it was like Dracula. And my mom let me do it, and the club owner let me do it.
Right. Always pushing the rehearsal, practicing. Give us an early sound or something that you really were inspired by when you were younger, before all the hits.
Well, one of the first things that I wrote for Earth and Fire was Head to the Sky. Sing along.
And the words, the lyrics, where did that come from? 'Cause
Maurice
it
wrote the
seems-
lyrics. Master told me one day I'd find peace in every way. Keep your head to the sky. I told people halftime, I said, I'm sitting back there with all these keyboards at this point, and I don't remember what they were singing. I had to keep changing because back then they didn't have sequencers and computers and all that. And somebody said, Maurice's half-brother, Monty White, who was our road manager at that time, he called me one time and said, Larry, he said, you got the biggest keyboard rig in the business. I went, and? I said, because ain't nothing up there for show, because the show moves like this, and Maurice didn't have time to, I'm going to smoke a cigar,
Right,
Larry
she
reproved.
sounded- right.
Everything had to be going at one time. Jupiter. The name of Jupiter. And it's funny because there was like a little controversy there to this day. These people going around that, certain artists, and including her, we are Satan's musical prophets. I'm like, dude, you don't know me. And I knew they were really going off tangent when they found evil in the song Devotion. True devotion, blessed are the teachers who give true love to many. So, okay, you found evil in that. Alrighty.
No matter what.
One of the favorite things Maurice had called me one point. He said, you know what, we're on the road. And he said, we're going to be in this movie. Robert Stigwood, I just got off the phone, he's the producer. And it's, what was it called? Sergeant Pepper's Lonely, you know more than I. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And he said, so it's all Beatle music, so Acho's got to get you to my life. I'm like, oh, okay. He said, so meet me down in the conference room about an hour. So they had an upright piano. Is that upright piano again? Upright piano and a record player. Look up record player. With the needle. And they had the 45 with the spindle. Look up spindle. In the middle. And so we listened to it. I took a ride, I didn't know what I would find. And I said, a couple times, got it. And then he goes, hey man, because you know, the thing was good about Maurice is that, you know, he was a drummer, originally for Ramsey Lewis Trio. And it's funny, like I said, I don't roll my whole life with astrology, but there's certain things. But the thing that was ironic is that I'm born, as you know, June 19th, Juneteenth. A lot of people still don't know about that.
We have that in common.
And Maurice was born December 19th. So we were 6 months apart to the day.
Right, not the year.
And me being a keyboard player and him being a drummer was a great thing. So he goes, you know what? I want to give me one of them. Just doing them crazy intros like me and you do, man. Give me something. And I had been blessed too. I left that out in. When I was about 19, I studied 3 years with Walter Bishop Jr., who was a keyboard player for Bird.
Right.
And so he said, give that. I said, okay. Got to get you away from my wife. Oh no, that's not the lyric. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, so that we knocked that out about 20 minutes. Did the gig that night. After that, got on a private plane and flew to Colorado. Not Caribou, where we did Open Our Eyes and That's the Way of the World. And we cut that sucker the next morning. Then we did the overdubs or whatever. Then the horns did the head arrangement. Maurice Phillip did the vocals. He mixed it. And the rest was it. Now, Maurice was telling me, he said, man, that sucker got to be the biggest fluke I ever seen, man. Because it shot straight to number one. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I said, Reese, I'll tell you why. And by that time, I'm about, I don't know, 20 years old, 21, I don't know, remember. And I said, dude, that was real Earth, Wind & Fire. Because this was, then we had acquired the Phoenix horns. They were just our horns at that time. That's a whole nother story. But, you know, the cats are out there doing it every night for a few years now, worldwide. And so we were Trump tight. And I said, you see, thank you didn't have time, or you couldn't make it back to LA to put on 30 horns and 50 strings and all. We had to do it and get it done. And it was the combo. It was the band. And obviously, like I said, even the Beatles loved it. So
Right. So Ringo Starr said it's okay.
right, yeah. Ringo said out of all the remakes of people doing their songs, that was his favorite.
And now more recently, you are doing your own albums as well. And can we hear just something along those lines?
Well, the one that was on my first album was Luis and I wrote was called was dedication from my mom, was called Italian Lady, a song for Mama. So I was like, I don't even know if I remember that was. True story. So we're working on the first LDO, Larry Dunn Orchestra. And Louisa did a song called Don't Make You Want to Cry about starving babies and all this. And so I had half of this because I was actually playing this at sound checks with the fire. And Philip said, "You ain't never going to finish that." I'm like, shut up. So we get a call from the Japanese guy that had signed us to his label. Sweet guy, smart guy. And he's flying in 2 days. I said, "What?" So then, after playing that for years, then Lulu sat next to me like you are, and she came up with that melody. It was completed, and I actually recorded that up at Indigo Ranch. Used to be the Moody Blues studio, and my good buddy Michael Hoffman and Richard Kaplan had bought it, and they had the Steinway piano up there, but it was what's it, a Bridge Over Troubled Water. That particular piano, so I recorded it on that. So that was that, and Caribou. You know about that story, right? Caribou Ranch. That was the Jim Guercio, the Chicago's manager, owned that.
Okay.
And that's where we did That's the Way of the World and Open Our Eyes. So that was awesome. That changed a lot. 1975, #1 pop album, #1 R&B, #1 pop single, Shining Star, which was me, Philip, and Maurice wrote. So my head was getting so
No.
right.
You kept it.
No, like I said, man, it's all honor, glory be to God, because I prayed for that so I could get my mom a house. And there you go.
Follow through on it. What do you want to take us out with?
Oh, you know what? Some of the artists that I was so blessed to produce, one of my other mentors, someone I grew up with, listening to Ramsey Lewis, I had 4 albums I think I did with him. I did Tequila Mockingbird.
Yes, tequila. Right.
I had me on Rhodes, Ramsey on acoustic, Ndugu on drums, Verdine on bass, Al on guitar, and Ronnie Laws on sax, soprano. And I had me and Eddie Del Barrio did the horns, and his older brother Jorge Del Barrio did the strings, and we just laid it out. You see the sports game, they were playing it. What I do, I remember I was 21. Down south, they don't pronounce the V. It's not over. It's over. So yeah, man, it's just and Stanley Turntine and Level 42, Dee Dee Bridgewater, Diane Reeves, Ronnie Hubert, Deborah Laws. It's just
Right. I should clarify. Those are all groups that you've written for and
produced,
songs.
reduced.
Right.
No, produced. Yeah, written for, played on.
Right.
But yeah, it's just what a beautiful thing. I would work with Maurice. And I'm like, I got more, man. You're golden, man. Boom, next day, Lenny White, peanut butter.
Right.
Yeah, so. Hey, man, it's been great, and there's more to come.
Sure. No, I love it.
Working on Luis's first solo project now, and we got 2 LDOs out, so they can go to LarryDunnMusic.com and check it all out.
I love it.
Yeah, you're awesome, man.
Thanks so much.
Don't ever change.
Right. We say brother from another mother, June 19th.
We are brothers from another mother, but the same father.
Exactly. There you go.
Don't ever change, man, except for your socks and your underwear.
Okay. I'll take it. Love the comedy. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. God bless y'all.
Likewise. Thanks, everybody.
Dr. Moshe, real quick,
Sure.
remember, this is,
Okay, to the close out.
Yeah.
So this
Okay,
camera.
sure, this camera, okay. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Dr. Moshe Lewis. Thanks so much for tuning in to Music and Medicine. You can catch us on Instagram at musicandmedicine.show. Stay
Okay.
tuned for more hits.
Do that again. Let's
Sure.
make sure it's in our focus.
Okay.
Hold on for a second.
We look better when it's off focus.
Exactly. It
A
does.
little
Are you
soft
guys
focus.
able to cheat a little bit? Like,
Sure, Chief.
Soft
so
focus.
No,
you-
just
so
turn toward the camera.
Okay, a
There
little
you
bit
go.
and, yep. Okay. Set.
Okay.
Thanks so much for joining us on Music and Medicine. I'm Dr. Moshe Lewis with Larry Dunn, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Keep staying tuned to us. You can find us on Instagram at musicandmedicine.show. Thanks for listening.
little jingle at the end.
Now that's what's gonna cost you. The rest of it, no problem. That's what,
That was on the house.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
No,
Yes, sir.
better too than I thought.